Hi everyone, I'm GREYMOND. Today I wanted to talk to you about having setbacks during the time that you're doing recovery work. For absolutely everyone, including myself when I was going through OCD recovery, setbacks happen. It's common. It's not even common, it's all the time for everyone. What the most important thing is how often are you having the setbacks? And if at first it's all the time, then gets a little bit better. Then okay, once a week I'm having a setback, then once every 2 weeks, then once a month. Also, how long do the setbacks last? So say for example you fell into it, Google start to analyze, how long did that last? How fast were you able to come out of it? How did you feel the next day? Did you get pulled into something else when you got reassurance, right? So all of these things tell us if you're doing better or if you're doing worse. And again, it's about the actions. It's your actions that matter. If you're reacting correctly most of the time, if you're choosing to disregard, if you're choosing to live with uncertainty, which was my last video, if you haven't watched it, please, you should watch it because it is important information in there. So if you're doing all of those things, the feelings will take care of themselves. They will normalize. The brain will normalize the chemistry and your feelings will come back. Come back to normal. You will not have as high of anxiety, but it's a process. It's a physical process that needs to take place. And we're trying to do our best every day with all the stressors that are going on, with the busyness of our lives. So you're not a robot for everything to be perfect. With a lot of times with OCD, people have this black or white thinking, right? That it's either like this or it's like that, and there's no in between. And it's not really like that. It's just little by little. Made a few steps forward, then setback. Then made a few more steps forward. Okay, then another setback. And little by little, these setbacks will still continue to happen as you're going through the recovery process, but they will be much less, to the point where you won't even notice them. Then they're going to be spaced out so far apart that it just won't be a big deal. So all of it improves. But if you start to be afraid of those setbacks, to judge yourself harshly on the setbacks, you can create actually another OCD theme, worrying about the process of recovery. And I see this happen all the time. This usually happens at the last stage of recovery when the person is doing much, much better and they've dealt with their original themes. Usually, this is as kind of a last push to get you into anxiety. OCD will say, well, what if you never recover? And then you can start to ruminate and you can start to get back into it. So, but if you're aware that that can happen and you're aware of the fact that you can have setbacks, then there's no problem. You're looking at it objectively. How many times did I have the setback? Well, okay, how many times was the time before that? What about the time before that? And then you start to see that, hey, I'm actually doing better. And then you start to feel good about yourself as well, right? Because with OCD, I've also done videos on this. Self-esteem really suffers. So if you're judging yourself harshly for these setbacks, which again, you're not a robot, they happen, you're making your situation worse overall, and it does affect self-esteem. Accept them as being part of the recovery process. And at some point, they will fully stop. You will fully recover. But as you are going through recovery, they will happen. And that's okay. I hope you find my videos helpful. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. I do daily videos about all things related to OCD recovery. If you would like to do one-on-one recovery program with me, all the information is on youhaveocd.com. You can sign up from there and book the session from there. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.